Hi, my name is Manda McKay. I'm a professional artist, and I'm making these videos to give you tips to help enhance your creativity. And these tips are meant to help anybody, regardless of whether they're just starting out or they've been working at something for a long time. Now, today's tip is probably aimed more at people who are fairly early in the process, although even people with a lot of experience at their form of art can run into this from time to time. But it's this feeling of inertia that you have to overcome, where you keep making all these excuses about why you haven't started yet on your new hobby. And even if it's something, well, like for me, I'm predominantly an oil painter, and I've been painting since I was a toddler, so I've been at it a really long time, and I'm definitely not a beginner, but I still can find myself, when it's time to start a new painting, I can find myself making all these excuses about why I shouldn't get started. So the best way to overcome that inertia and just get started is to focus on how much you enjoy the process of creating as opposed to the product. So the product would be the end result. I'm not trying to make it sound like your art is a commodity, but for me, the end result, the product, would be the painting when I'm all finished with it. But the process would be actually painting whatever it is that I want to paint. And if you focus on how much you enjoy the process and don't worry about the product or the end result, that is the best way to overcome inertia. And for me, I would say that my newest creative hobby is making these YouTube videos. And I really was coming up with every excuse in the book as to why I couldn't do the first video. And eventually I just had to remind myself that, okay, I'm going to try this. I really want to help other people with their creativity, and I have all these tips, and I don't know how else to distribute them, basically, except occasionally when a friend will ask me, or they'll ask for their, maybe their kid is getting started on something. So I knew that the first, the several videos, hopefully the content of what I was saying, was what I was concerned about, and hopefully that came out okay. But quality-wise, there are a lot of things that I realized I needed to do differently. And again, I wouldn't know what I had to do to improve unless I got started with it. But I would just tell myself that the point of these videos is that I want to do something that's helpful for other people and have something, after I'm not here anymore, that hopefully will still be around on YouTube and may be useful to somebody. So by focusing on the process and not worrying that this is not going to be like award-winning quality when I'm done, is what got me to overcome inertia. And the first time I came out here, I shot 3 videos, and that's usually how I do it. Every few weeks I try to come out and shoot a few. And after the first one, I had overcome inertia, and then the second and the third one were easier. And then after a while, it starts to feel like you kind of know what you're doing, or you at least know how to jump into it and get started and come up with the next one. And that's how you can practice and become better. But again, to just overcome perfection, especially in inertia, and get started, just think about what it is about the process of actually making something that you enjoy, and let that be your motivator. And maybe you'll come up with something that you really like, maybe you won't. I think you probably have something really wonderful that when you're ready you can share with all the rest of us. But enjoy the process and enjoy being creative, and just get started, and don't worry about how it's going to turn out. And hopefully this tip is useful for you. Let me know in the comments. And again, my name is Manda McKay, and thank you so much for watching.